Hello, my friends from Five Reasons. Welcome back to Marlins on Tap. This is the first edition, of course, after a game and after the Marlins play an actual game in the regular season. Sadly, they dropped their home opener, the opening day here at Marlins. I'm gonna say at Marlins Park, Lone Depot Park, here in Little Havana. 1-0 after a great performance by Sandy Alcantara. Sadly, the Marlins just couldn't hit the Rays pitching, which is also great. Tyler Glasnow had also a great performance today, and then against the relief pitching, it was just not enough for the Marlins today. So, Jazz, I mean, it was kind of what we expected today, right? We're with Jazz Santana again here on Marlins Tap. Great pitching, but still, this team is struggling a lot to actually get things going on the offensive side. I mean, what else can we say about it?
Yeah, I mean, you nailed it, right? So it was a nice pitcher's duel today. Sandy had a hell of a game, 7 strikeouts, and six in the third, I think it was, or 6 full innings. So
Yeah,
he,
six.
he 6 innings. Okay, so he did really well. Obviously, Glass now pitched great as well. But look, I mean, before I get into the hitting, the bullpen wasn't bad either. They gave up that one, Jimmy Garcia gave up that one home run to Austin Meadows. That was it. They got out of a couple jams, struck out a lot, struck out guys, and they looked like they, had excuse me, had Tampa Bay's hitters, a little off balance aside from maybe the 4 or 5 hits that they had. I mean, look, the pitching I think looks. It's only game one, but the pitching looks good. Yeah, the hitting struggled a little bit today. Against a guy like Tyler Glass now, it's hard to get things going, especially when with his 6'8" frame throwing 98 miles an hour. That ball's gonna be. It's like he's handing off the ball, so it's hard to hit. Yeah, they have to get back on the right side of things, hitting the baseball. But with one game down, I think that you're gonna start to see these guys start to swing the bat a little bit better. They're gonna need to, obviously, but at the same time, like you mentioned yesterday in our show, the hitting is gonna keep you in the ball game. So you got to make sure you get to some timely hits. You don't have to score 10 runs to win with the type of pitching that you're going to have, but you got to
Right.
score some runs. So overall, it is what it is. Game one, but I love what I saw out of Sandy.
Yeah, I mean, Sandy was spectacular, like you said, and we just couldn't score a run. Even though that, like you said, Jimmy Garcia allowed that home run, but we still had to score anyway, and we didn't do it. So that's the bottom line from what happened today here. So the first decision from Don Mattingly that we can analyze this year, he took Sandy Alcantara out after 6 innings, only 83 pitches, to bring in Magneuris Sierra, right, as a pinch hitter. And here's where the DH comes in play, right? In the National League, we don't have it. So, I mean, I guess Mattingly took that risk, and it just didn't work because Magneuris Sierra struck out looking, and then we lost Sandy. I mean, we didn't lose because of pitching anyway, but still, I mean, maybe he could have gone longer, right?
Yeah, gone are the days of pitchers throwing 8 or 9 innings. Even if they give up a run or two, and you're barely going to see pitchers get into those hundred pitches and the pitch count thing, and it's just so crazy. Do I have a problem with the decision to pull them? Not necessarily. I mean, yes, not having a DH hurts in that position, and then the guys on the bench. I think you could really rely on maybe Cooper and John Birdie. Aside from that, you really don't have much on the bench with Sierra and Sanchez and some of the other guys that you have on the bench. I'm not, I don't know if at that point right there you have to make that change. I think you had Sandy, pitching so well. If he goes another inning and throws maybe 95 to 100 pitches, I think you're fine. I'm not too worried about pulling him early because you want to save his stamina and make sure he doesn't get hurt, and he can go deep into the season. But at that point right there, first game of the season, let him go another inning, and see if we can get one more out of him, and now you've got the top of the order coming around again. So I don't know. I mean, the decision wasn't terrible, but at the same time, you really don't have much on the bench that's very exciting to say, okay, well, if we pull him, we're going to have some really great bats that are going to be able to manufacture some runs.
Yeah, and actually, Sierra is the only lefty one that you had there in the bench. So I mean, you really didn't have a lot of options. Like the other options were John Birdie, who's I mean he's been getting on base quite a lot, and he might be playing tomorrow against Ryan Yarbrough. Lewis Brinson, who we know is not hitting the ball particularly well, so that's not a real option anyway. Garrett Cooper, he ended up pinch hitting later in the game. He had a good at bat. He ended up with walking with men on second, and that was really interesting there in the eighth inning. That was the only chance, the only real chance the Marlins had throughout the game. But like you said, we our bench is definitely not very exciting. So it's gonna be a hard season in that regard, right? If our starting lineup is not producing, it's not like you can go to the bench and like looking to the race. I mean, they brought Manuel Margot as a pinch hitter. That's I mean that's a good hitter there to bring, and they had other options there, and it's different, right? Like a Joey Wendell, Francisco Mejia, or Brusseau. That I mean Brusseau hit that home run last year off Chapman in the American League Championship or going into the American League Championship Series. So it's gonna be a struggle for the Marlins in that regard offensively. But I mean, I guess we were prepared for it, right? We
Oh
knew
yeah,
it was gonna
absolutely.
be hard. I mean, Aguilar had the only two hits for the team until the eighth, until Alfaro got the third one there late in the eighth. So that tells you a little bit of I mean, there's nothing else to do, right? Not much to do about this particular game. I mean, these are the type of games that you like, that you love to win because you had a great performance by Sandy Alcantara. But these are the type of games that the Marlins have been dropping against the Rays all these last couple of years, right? We get into these pitching duels, and then at the end of the day, they end up scoring runs, and it's been a struggle for the Marlins. So,
I
opening
will
day
I
is
will tell you
exciting to
this.
see people.
I will
Yeah,
tell you this. Jazz Chisholm hit the ball very hard today. He hit it right at some guys, but eventually those balls are going to drop. So I like
yeah,
what I saw
the
out of
same
Chisholm.
with Rojas had a line drive, hard line drive. Aguilar had one
Hmm.
here in the ninth at the end that I thought it could have gone out of the park, but it was just too much of a line drive. So I guess that's a little bit of bad luck if you want to call it that way, and
Yeah,
that's just part of the game.
that's
That's how it
baseball. Yeah.
works. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how it works. So I mean, it was exciting seeing people here. A lot of people. It was a sold out for the I mean the amount of people that can be here right now that are allowed to be here. So it was great to see people back at it again. I went by the Biscayne Bay Hall. It's awesome. You gotta come and check it out here at Marlins Park. And then you also have some places where you can buy it on first base and or third base. So you'll find it there. So I mean, I think this is it for today. This is our first Marlins Untapped during the season. Thank you very much, Jess. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us. And go ahead and go enjoy your Miami Heat game that should be starting here in about an hour. So go ahead, have fun, and we'll be continuing following the Marlins along the way. All right, have a good one. Bye bye.